Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been only a little bit since our last video. Today is just kind of like a little bit of a story time and a get ready with me. I'm going to be doing my makeup and fill you guys in on my experience with Roaccutane. In Australia, it's called something else. It's a different name. You had to have tried basically everything before you could go on this medication. Now, I'm at a point in my life where I was 30 when I went on it. When I started treatment, I had been on every antibiotic you could think of, changed my diet several times, I tried every topical treatment like Clearasil, Clean and Clear, Garnier, like all your facial products, into several cosmetic clinics, getting microdermabrasion. I'd had laser therapy, I'd had extractions, like everything you can think of. I think for the most part, some helped for a little bit and then it just came back like tenfold, and then others just aggravated my skin in general. It didn't make it any better, and I just felt more worse about myself afterwards because I'd spent all that money, my hard-earned money that I'd worked off, got myself all psyched up for a treatment that I was hopeful about, you know, that feeling where you're like, oh, this could be the one, you know, and then it just didn't happen for me. That was my last straw. I ended up going to a dermatologist. I was 30 years old. And he literally asked only a few questions, and when I just started to get emotional, look, I'm getting married this year. I don't want this on my wedding day. I know that Jamie loves me for me and not for my skin, but I didn't want to look like that on my wedding day. Wanted nice, clear skin on the most important day of my life. I'm gonna let you guys know where we went from there, but I'm gonna start doing some makeup. Right now I'm just going to go in with the Studio XX Express Hydration. You guys saw this in my, there we go. You guys would have seen this in my Kmart makeup haul, and I actually stuck with it because it actually feels really nice on my skin. I went to the dermatologist. He was like a really nice guy. We went through some of the side effects that I would be experiencing because Roaccutane isn't something that you just go on and it fixes you. It can take months. So depending, basically the medication that I went on, the way it works is they go off the ratio of your weight limit of your body and how much medication you can take. You take half the dose at first to wean onto the medication to get it in your system, and then you go double the dose, I think 3 months in after that. So every 3 months I had to go see the dermatologist to get a script, give him an update on my skin. He would take photos. We'd talk about some of the side effects that I was experiencing, and then I'd have to go get a blood test. Now for females, you cannot be pregnant whilst on Roaccutane. I'm not a professional. I'm not claiming any of my advice is medically sound or anything like that, but this is just my experience that I had to go through. But you cannot be pregnant or fall pregnant while on this medication because the side effects are that it mutates the bone structure. They can't form their bones properly like a full skeleton in the womb. That's what they described to me in the clinic. Basically, they just made it like a new law that in between visits, every 3 months, you must get a blood test to state that you're not pregnant, just so that they can carry on with the medication. Oh, where'd my beauty blender go? So, I mean, that was fine because I was like, you know, we're not planning on having any kids anytime soon anyway. But yeah, it just was very informative, and I'm glad that like I knew that piece of information. That was just good information to know for me because I did have other friends inquiring about it and they just thought it was like a walk in the park. Oh, you just get these pills and they magically make your skin better. No, it just made me really self-aware, making sure that I was doing the right thing, and me and Jamie were being careful. Yeah, basically I just followed every rule step by step that I could. Some of the side effects that I had were straight away, instantly, sensitivity to the sun. I had to make sure that if my arms and legs were fully covered head to toe. If my legs were exposed, I had a lot of SPF on. Otherwise, it did pretty much feel like I was melting. I felt like I was burning. There were times where we went out on the jet ski and I wore like a long sleeve rashie. I was like, oh, I feel fine. But then later on, I felt that I'd gotten burnt through the fabric, like heat wise. my skin got burnt. It would later break out in like this allergic reaction rash all over. I just learned after my first few times of getting sunburnt, it was more painful to deal with the rash and the reaction of the burn later than it was, you know, for the fun part and I don't know, it just wasn't worth it for me. So I just had to make sure that I was being, you know, careful, looking after my skin, protecting myself, staying in the shade, basically looking like a total noob. One of the other side effects was chapping of the lips. I know you guys probably all hear about this one, on the bottom and then on the top. And then all of a sudden, like, winter really hit and I got it here and here, and my lips would crack and bleed either side. Like 4 of these chapstick lip glosses on the go because I kept losing them at work. I always have it in my pocket without doubt, or I had one in the top drawer at work behind the counter. So yeah, I was always topping up with chapstick, not Vaseline. I don't like dipping my finger into a pot. I don't know why, it's just a weird thing for me. The worst ones for me was joint pain. I started working out heaps leading up to the wedding. It got worse and worse. Like, it felt like I was about like 90 years of age, and every time I bent down and did a squat or a lunge, it would just like crack and be so painful. I just started taking supplements in hope that it would help. So I started taking magnesium tablets because I was getting a sore back as well. They do say that you'll get muscular and joint pain. Another one that I had really bad was the winter hit. I got a really bad flu / cold. With that, I was obviously building up like a lot of phlegm and like mucus in my nostrils. So I'd go to blow my nose, and if I blow my nose too hard, my nose would start bleeding. But because I was really sick, it wasn't just coming out with like boogers, it was coming out like, yeah, it was not nice because it's like a blood thinner. If you've ever seen like an older person on blood thinners, you probably notice that they bruise easily or they bleed easily, like if they get knocked over by kids or dogs, or they get a scratch on their arm and it comes up really bruised. That's what was happening to me. I was bruising easily. If one of the dogs leant up on me, like Boss is quite heavy, if he jumped up on me on a normal day, and he's quite gentle, when I was on that medication, he'd lean up on me on my leg and it would just bruise, and there'd be a big scratch there when like I know that he barely even touched me. What else did I have to go through? Towards the end of it, I got really bad constipation. It wasn't just like number 2s coming out. There was like same deal as the nose. When I blew really hard on my nostrils, lots of blood came out. So same thing down there. But I just didn't think it would happen to me. So that's one thing, you need to keep your fluids up constantly because it's constantly drying out your skin. It's drying out your organs, your body, everything in there. So I'm sure there's lots more came with it that I can't really think of right now, but those were like the major ones that I can just remember. My skin was pretty much smooth and clear halfway through my treatment, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, should I just go off it now? Because I was that over the side effects. One of those things that needs to stay in your body for it to have a lasting effect. And I also got told that this may not be the first time I need the treatment. It may not work proper the first time, and that I may need 2 rounds. I was on it for 9 months for my weight limit. Had pretty much perfect clear skin by the time my wedding came around. It was clear like a couple of months prior, and I was pretty stoked with that. It was the best day of my life, and I was so happy that it was clear and I didn't have to stress about, you know, any pimples popping up on the day, and if they did, they were like tiny or minuscule. I was so stoked. It was the best day ever. Use this NYX, but for me, I think I needed 2 rounds. I finished my round like 2 weeks before the wedding, and right afterwards, instantly, I don't know how, and this wasn't even a side effect during my treatment, but I started breaking out on my arms, pretty much just like on my arms, not on my back, not on my chest or anything. And then after that, the face acne came back up again. At first it was just around here, like my cheekbones, and I was like, oh, I'm on my period, so I'm just gonna let that one slide. And then it cleared up again. I was like, oh yeah, it's gone back to normal again, and it's nice and clear. And then after that, it just flared up all up on my forehead, near my hairline, under my chin. I was getting heaps on my cheeks again. I was like, oh, it's happening again. No, she said. And the third factor is some people just need 2 treatments. It's not terrible. I don't get like acne. You search on Google and you go severe acne and you see ones where they're like all over their cheeks. I don't get it like that. I just get these craters, like 1, 2 or 3 craters in random places on my face. They're just so painful. They're cystic, like they're underneath, and I can't pop them. And then I just try my best to cover and treat it as I can, but it sucks, man. Like, I'm 31 now, and you want to be able to meet up with friends, not right now, but you want to be able to meet up friends, you know, and film Instagram stories and film YouTube videos and not worry about what your face looks like on camera. I'm at a point in my life where I'm mature enough to just not really give a crap what people think of 2020, and you know, it's not cool, you know, make fun of someone who's going through, you know, a skin disorder. It just, yeah, it does suck. It does knock your confidence out a bit. Where is my, oh, there it is. I really need one of those clear makeup drawer sets because the collection's starting to grow. Going into my bronzer. You guys have all seen this one before. This is just the Ultra 3. It's a bronzing kit with a highlighter, and it's from Target. I haven't gotten the opportunity to go in and book an appointment with the dermatologist yet since I've been in isolation, but it's definitely on my list for when I go back, when it feels safer to go to public places like that. Just the dermatologist that I go to. It's quite a small waiting room. Not dissing them because they're amazing at what they do, but sitting quite close to other people, so I just want to avoid that situation if I can. But it's definitely on my list to do when I go back. There's something that I forgot to mention in there also, is that if you are going to a dermatologist and you don't have private healthcare that I went to, I had to pay an upfront amount, and then you get like a Medicare rebate back after the appointment. After the first initial consult, the appointments get cheap, like a rebate system, and it automatically goes through. You don't have to call Medicare or anything like that. So I'm not sure where you're from or what your situation might be, but that's just the dermatologist that I went to. Go to a GP first, get a referral to go to the dermatologist, go to the dermatologist for my consult, get a blood test from a pathologist to prove that I wasn't pregnant in the moment to be able to be approved to go on medication. Go back to the dermatologist to get the medication script, get my medication. It became like a bit of a repetitive thing, so I knew what to do every 3 months. Yeah, just letting anyone know out there, if you're thinking about doing it, what the process is. And I hope that, you know, your skin journey is just as positive as mine was, if not permanent. That would be awesome for you guys. I think mine was called isoretinin or something like that. I feel like this might become a bit of a series and a to be continued sort of thing. And now let's just finish the rest of my makeup look. I'm going to be trying a different color in the berry palette and one of the foiled colors tonight. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
I'm not broken, I'm just split into
really good. That's a really good effort. Once again, the foiled metallic palette has not failed me. That bright purple was the Fire Dancer color that I went in with. And I also went in with the foiled, which I believe I used in my last video. Thanks so much for watching my vid today, guys. If anyone else does have any other stories about their experience with Roaccutane or any other similar drug that they have had to go through, please leave a comment down in the box below and let me know your experience. Better yet, let me know whether you end up having to go on a second dose like I might have to. And also, it gives other women or other men, teenagers in a similar situation, lets them know what to expect to go through, like the process when you're going through something like this. It's not as easy as a magic pill. Definitely leave any comments below if you have any experience on that. Otherwise, I hope you guys like my story time today. If you'd like to see more stories like these ones, please let me know. I'm trying to come up with some more different content, more relatable stuff, so that you guys hear my stories and my experiences, just so that you know you're not going through anything alone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys in the next video. Please give me a like, it really does help. If you can subscribe and you like my content, please subscribe and click the bell notification to get the heads up every time I have a new video coming. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, hello. Mummy smells of makeup, doesn't she? I just got totally ditched. My baby boy. You ever just hug your pet so much that they just despise you? Because same. Oh, bye.